my vice. Man up from Mars, he tripping, I put that on guard. I got the digits, but I am not calling. Wizard at night, this be that forum. I'm just stacked with that. Sunshine after that. Stacked with that. Sunshine after that. So yeah, you know, I had a conversation with her, but it's like the signals is always crossed. I mean, like, I say yes, cause she asked me to say yes. And then she's like, I didn't want you to say yes. I wanted you to understood that a yes was required to answer the question. I was like, what?
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the spot, the Stacked After Hours spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folks Talk. So, we are approaching our final month. We got a couple more episodes before we go on hiatus. So, we have been lit and enlightening. So, as we always say, get your cocktails ready, get those fingertips loose, because tonight we're talking about partnership and do you have what it takes? So let's bring in Sunshine. But before we do that, I want to say we have an event going on because Stack is growing. And we have an adult prom coming up celebrating Stacked and more importantly, our producer's birthday, Montaigne Logic. A boat ride this Saturday. We'll have a couple more details about that, but it's also our fundraiser. So please support. So definitely support. This work is not for free. It's time, it's money, it's energy, but it's also y'all's thoughts and energy. So we want to make sure you show up. And if you can't show up, at least support. So let me bring in my sunshine. Where's my sunshine, Montaigne? Sunshine.
I need to get that bell in my house, in my
Oh,
apartment. Every time I walk in, it just plays.
girl, you are hilarious. So, Sunshine, we're talking about relationships or really
Yeah.
partnerships, specifically partnership. I think is one of the key elements in relationships. And do you have what it takes? A couple of weeks ago, we haven't had a show in about a week or so, but a couple of weeks ago on the after party, we had someone talking about how her boyfriend who broke up with her, gave her feedback and told her she was not girlfriend material. And she actually took it really, really well. She was maybe a little bit taken back, but she wasn't defensive. Because I think at this time, hopefully, we can be
Yeah,
grown
and I think that is key as well to when you're getting good feedback. I guess that in the moment of it, it depends on
where you're at.
how that feedback is given as well. If it's given with the best intention and in a respectful manner. But it's important, whether it's in an argument or not, it's really important, I think, to just reflect on what people are telling you, how they
Yeah,
feel, or how you made them feel,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And similarly, I've gotten feedback before, and this is earlier in my earlier days when I was dating, like in my 20s. What was very prevalent at the time was that word, lack of affection.
Mhm.
That was one of my, and I wrote it down. So that's why I'm looking down. Lack of affection, also very cold. Uh,
Hmm. What were you cold? Was it the person that made you cold, or was it just something that was always in you?
I feel like back in the day, I didn't really have to try. I think that, I, based on the environment that I grew up in and then coming to America and then going to an engineering school, which was predominantly male, one of the things that happened is that you really didn't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
And so I think it just made me a little bit egotistical, I guess, and just felt like, okay, well, you don't like it, doesn't matter, somebody else will like me.
Yeah.
And it's not until I reflected on what they were really saying, not affectionate, being cold, being dismissive, hitting below the belt. I think I was getting away with it. And so why not?
Yeah. I think it was so funny. I thought about it myself, and mine was, I was like, I had a one boyfriend, he's just like, you lead with your sexual energy, and there's so much more to you. I was like, oh. And it's not like I was putting sex out there, but he was just like, you're using your physicality to hopefully move the needle. And I wasn't getting what I wanted. Yeah, I was just like, hmm. And I thought about it, and I was like, and I thought about the relationships that I was having, and not necessarily like I was like sex was foremost, but it was
Right,
just, I knew my assets and I knew they drew attention, and I had them, but not in a way that was always positive. It didn't
right.
always give me the result I wanted. I was like, oh, if I lead with my physical self, they'll explore who I really am. And it was more
Right.
so my insecurity. It was like, these are the assets you have and use them.
Yeah.
But those assets never really got me what I wanted. And the relationships would last all of 6 months.
Yeah. And also when you see somebody that you like and they're really not giving you all of that heat, then you
Yes.
use your assets to kind of turn it up to say, well, hey, you're going to look at me.
Right.
You're going to love me.
You gonna love me, you gonna do me, and once you
Uh-huh.
do, you gonna fall in love with this. And it's like,
Yeah. It's ego as well. Yeah.
it's ego. It's a lot of it. A lot of it stems from ego and insecurities. Like,
Hmm.
I think there are certain things we hide from because we don't even. And like I said, this is my younger year, but this is also from one of my longest relationships. So it it affected me, and then it did the opposite, where it turned me cold in coming relationships. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to lead with that. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. So you go from one thing to another to hopefully even out where you're trying to find the middle
Yeah.
of who you are.
And I think for me personally as well too, it took me some time to explore my femininity and
Mhm.
put away that masculine energy that I was portraying. I put that away, put that on the shelf. I could bring it out if I want to, but I think it was very important for me to just take a step back and just think about how I was operating and what sort of energy I was bringing to the forefront. And so I have delved deeply into my feminine energy.
Uh-huh.
I think that's where I am now. That's where I enjoy being, right? As I told you before, my feminine energy is I love it. I love being here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's hard. I think it's something that's not necessarily, as women of a certain age, feminine energy wasn't always celebrated. I think it's celebrated now. I think it's
Right.
warranted now because it's so much like, I'm empowered, I'm all of these things, and it's just like, how do you have both? And I'm not saying feminine and masculine, but how can you be empowered and feminine
Right.
in your relationships? Because sometimes it's hard to turn that shit off. Hey, Esther. So yeah, um,
So, Natalie, what do you think makes a good relationship or partnership?
that's a great question. I think to me, what I'm learning as I'm in a relationship now is communication, but really saying what makes you uncomfortable in things. And you can say it without like not feeling, even if it's uncomfortable, you can get it out and they can
So,
hear you.
so being comfortable with the uncomfortable
Being
conversation.
comfortable with the uncomfortable conversations, and they don't end, they're continuous, saying what you want, like, and him being able to tell you what he wants, and you not. And I turn my nose up still. I'd be like, I don't want to do that. I'd be like, but I'm
There's
learning.
also compromise, Natalie.
I do. You can ask him. He'd be like, girl. But I'm learning like this shit is a dance. Like it's a compromise that you want to do. It's not a compromise that you have
That you
to
don't
do.
want to. Yes.
It's not that you don't want to do. It's something you kind of have to do, I think.
Well, you have to do it if it's worth it, if the person is worth it.
If they inspire you to do it.
Yes.
If you're inspired. Not saying that you're inspired to do it because how you feel about them. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. That's what I'm learning. I wanna,
It's a learning process.
As Halle Berry says, I want you to make me feel good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I want to make you feel good, I guess.
Yes. Amen.
That's it. But let's bring in our panel.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, panel. Look at this. We got some newbies. We got some old schools. Let's introduce our newbies. She's in my corner, right under me. The Miss Beautiful Houston is in the house. Denise Black. She always gives us her lip service and her honesty. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And we have Michael, not Michael Jordan, Michael Charles. He acts like Michael Jordan at times. So welcome, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies. Hey.
Hello. Hello. And then, of course, we got our girl, Ms. Ronee. Y'all better get the name right. Ronee.
Hey, Ronee.
Hey, Ronee.
Hi.
And finally, welcoming back our major disruptor. He keeps us on our toes, Dr. Reggie. Hi, Dr. Reggie. Welcome back.
Hi.
What up? What's cracking?
I hear y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. So everybody continue to have comments and questions for our panel. They're going to be asking and talking about their experiences in relationships and are they ready? So let's start with this first question. I'm going to start with Denise. Denise, what do you think is the hallmark of a good relationship?
For me, it would have to start with honesty, respect, the willingness to communicate on a regular basis, not just every now and then, but on a regular basis. And I think if you communicate on a regular basis, then you can probably have a better chance of being able to resolve conflict peacefully. So I think for me, that's part of it. So.
Okay, that's part of it. Michael?
Has to be communication. And tremendous respect.
I think we have some technical difficulty. We're having some technical difficulty. We'll come back, Michael, to you. Ronee?
So I agree with Denise. Communication is on top for me. Communication and honesty. So those are important to me in the homework of a relationship.
Okay, everybody's on the communication. Reggie, I'm gonna let you bring us up the rear. What is the hallmark of a good relationship for you?
There's about 6 characteristics that I thought about, and I've always lived by these. And one, you have to be courageous in a relationship. You know, you have to be able to accept what someone else says. You have to be able to understand that you're not always going to be right, but be courageous enough to accept what someone else has to say when it's an honest critique. You have to have conviction. You have to have vision in the relationship. You have to be vulnerable in the relationship, be simple, and you also have to be sincere.
Oh, okay. You better give us a list. Go on, Dr. Reggie.
I told you the last time when we first did this show, I laid these out, and y'all were like, y'all are Jesus Christ.
No, those are great. I mean, those are great. We just gave a little bit, but yeah, those are
But
great. I mean, the list is extremely long for anybody, so it's just
Right.
not a few, but the list is long. So your list was perfect.
But it has a biblical context to it, an undertone to it. We could get deeper into that, but it's not the show to do it. But those are the 6 that I go with.
Okay.
And can I just add one more, which is respect?
Okay. So, how have you shown up in a relationship where you were like, I did that shit, or I was, you were half stepping? When were y'all half stepping, and when were y'all showed up on point? Let's talk about that. When have y'all half stepped, and when have y'all showed up? Y'all were on point. Ronnie, I'm gonna start with you. When were you half stepping, Ronnie?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Well, according to a big conversation I had today, it seemed like very recently. But
what did he say? What did he say?
he told me that I would never be in a long-term relationship because of the rules that I have in the way I vet people. But I've shown up halfway in relationships that I really didn't want to be in. Because relationships that I wanted to be in, all of those boxes that you guys mentioned, I checked. Like, I made sure. It wasn't even I made sure. It was no effort to work to be a communicator. There was no effort to show respect. There was no effort to just be happy in it and be open to everything that goes with the relationship. So any of those relationships that I really didn't want to be in are the ones that I have stepped in. Like, I didn't really care what your opinion was. It was whatever I said. I moved the way I wanted to move. Or I didn't articulate exactly what I really wanted, because in my head it's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna not be with you in a short amount of time anyway, so it didn't matter to me.
Ronnie, how long did you stay with that person that you didn't want to be with?
Oh my God, probably like a year and change. Like, I didn't even have a conversation with the person saying that, oh, let's be in a relationship. The person said we're in a relationship. I was like, oh, whatever.
What kept you from moving on earlier if you knew you preempted the end of the demise of the relationship?
I think just trying to give something a chance. It could have been, when I think back on it, I'm not really sure. I know what it was. I know exactly what it was. So the person was very doting, right? And he would pick me up from home. He had a job, but he would pick me up from home, take me to work, pick me up from work when I had my lunch break, take me to lunch, come back, bring me back from lunch, pick me up from work to take me home. Anything I needed to do, go shopping, whatever. He was always there. He would send fruit baskets and flowers to my job.
What's his name?
You wanted like turn
like a great guy.
And that was what kept me there, because
his name Uber?
Huh?
What's his name Uber?
He would send flowers and fruit baskets to my job all the time. And the men at my job, they're like, Ronnie, this guy is a great catch. Like, you need to stick with him. So that was part of the reason why I kind of rolled it out. But then I realized that was also his possessive side, because I also couldn't walk through the streets, and if I saw a guy friend that I knew, I couldn't say hi to that person. Or if we walked into a space and a man would have to talk to him first before they talk to me. So that was just part of his possessive energy. And then at that time, I was working 2 big jobs for 2 different agencies. And when he realized my salary was going to be more than his, that was when that whole ego thing and possessive and I have to be the man in this kind of kicked in. So anyway, it was the people from around me who saw all the things he did that wished that they had someone who was putting that kind of energy, are the ones who put the battery in my back.
Okay. Thoughts on? Oh, you know what? Well, Michael, you shaking your head. What?
Michael, I think you're on mute, Michael.
You're on mute.
Unmute yourself.
What
We just have a terrible connection. Lord have mercy. Okay, Michael, we're gonna come back. Reggie, you were smiling too. I'm curious based on even
Yeah,
what
it all started out like that was good, but I could see where it was going with the concern of he was doing way too much. He was overreaching. So that can be very concerning in the beginning to a woman. Like, whoa, you can become like, oh, this is cool, but then it can be very overwhelming. So yeah, I could see your concern, Renee, when you were like, oh, okay. But then when it got to the point where the controlling part was, okay, the friendships, like I know people, so you can't control the people that I am in contact with and looking at my cell phone and my whereabouts, tracking my time. You don't know if they're going to put an air tag on you or something like that. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff is very, very creepy. So you did the right thing and bowed out, you know.
He wasn't I didn't find the flowers and the baskets overwhelming. That wasn't a problem. But there was one thing. I broke my ankle. And when I went to a barbecue the day after I broke my ankle, it was a big barbecue. And people knew I dated him. And they kept asking me, how did I break my ankle? And I told them how. I broke it at work. And they kept asking me over and over again, are you sure?
They thought you were an abused woman.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what
Wow.
am I missing?
Wow.
Was it a movie like that?
Dang. All right, gentlemen, when was the time that you have stepped in a relationship? I'm gonna start. Michael, are we can we hear you?
You can go with the doctor first.
Okay, doctor. When was the time you half stepped in a relationship and you know you were half stepping? How long did you step?
Name an era, the 90s, 2000s, now.
Okay, let's start with the most recent.
You know, being in a newer city, of course, you all know I moved to Miami, relocated back to Miami 2 years ago. So it's been kind of slow in the process. But so I'm on a dating website, and it's very easy for me to walk away when I don't really kind of see that there is a compatible match. So it's been a lot of times. Most recently, probably like Saturday, I went on kind of a little meet and greet thing with someone, and it was just kind of like, this ain't gonna work. This shit ain't gonna work.
What happened?
So it was one of those millennial women. I have a thing for dating women younger than me. So she was one of those women who, you know, she was into her career. She was into her material items that she had. Nice looking sister, you know. However, she just gave all the red flags that she's going to be a problem. So I just really kind of faded out on that situation. I didn't even return a phone call, nor did I make an effort to get in contact again because the red flags were already there. I'm old enough to know this stuff now. So there's no reason.
Why do you continue to date younger when you know? Is that what you've been finding with younger women?
Because the only thing I like old is my liquor.
Damn. Okay.
So you don't do it yourself then.
No, that's in tryst. That's in joke. But no, it just seems that it's a lot more fun. Sometimes you feel like that you can do a lot more with someone who likes to be outside and doing certain things that I like to do. Generally, most of the time, it's someone who doesn't have grandchildren, quote unquote, unless they got, you know, pregnant when they was in middle school or something like that.
What age are you talking? What age are you talking about? I want to know what age are you talking about? Like, what you wouldn't date somebody? I don't know how old you are, so what? You ain't gonna date anybody 55, 60, what?
50. I'm 52.
52. So you definitely ain't date nobody your age.
It'd be hard for me to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, that's just kind of like what I prefer. So,
okay. I get it. Got it.
Did that answer the question? So when I see certain characteristics or certain red flags, it's easy for me to kind of, walk away from it and just move on to the next one. Life is short. I don't have time to be trying to, figure these things out. Like I said, I'm mature and old enough to know that it's not going to work. So why mess around with it and continue?
Yeah.
It's not an old game. This game is still the same. It's just got different colors and
New players,
sizes and shapes. Right.
All right. Wow, Dr. Reggie. Mike. I'm sorry. Let's go. I'm sorry, Demise. Let's go with you. Demise.
I'm kind of the same as Dr. Reggie. I just, you start dating somebody and you see the red flags and I'm done. I'm out. I don't have time. So, I mean, I just recently did that this past weekend.
What were his red flags, and what is your
God, I hope he ain't listening.
Methodology for being out.
I hope he ain't listening. So,
girl, he may be. Don't tell it now.
So, we used to like each other 30 years ago, right? And we've been friends all through, when I was married, and he's getting a divorce now. So he wanted to come out here and visit. And so I think he was thinking maybe, we can maybe do something other than a friendship, right? But the more I talked to him this weekend, the more I found red flags. Like, I kept saying, what's going on in your marriage? Why are you getting a divorce? And everything, he was blaming her. So I was like, well, and his excuses were, she doesn't cook, she doesn't do this. And okay, but you knew that before you married her, right? Yes. Yeah, we took cooking lessons, yada, yada, yada. So I said, well, what role did you play in the demise of your marriage? And I didn't get the answers. They were just really vague answers. And so that was just a total turn off to me. And then he wanted to talk about what he wanted in his next relationship. So I had to just shut that down. And I was like, no, you don't need to talk about what you want in your relationship. You need to focus on yourself, get through this marriage and your divorce, because you need to grieve. And it seems like he wanted to talk about us, but I just shut it down. And I was like, and then I was just mentally out. I was done. I was like, so I had to shut it down. So
just a side note, a lot of times we as men, we remember women how they were, and women remember or see us as how we are now. You know what I mean? So he probably thought, wow, she's the same woman from 30 years ago, not understanding you've been through life and you've gone through some things. So his thinking is you're the same person, and you're like, no, I'm not. But and you're like, well, how are you now? He's like, well, I think I'm the same person. You're like, no, you're going through a divorce. You got some things that you need to work on.
Yeah.
So that's what
you. They really think we're the same person, though. Really?
Yeah, we think about, oh man, she had curves when she was 25, and oh man,
physically, nobody's y'all ain't even the same.
Listen, what I'm telling you. That men think that way. We think about how you used to look, not currently. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, women, I mean, I get that. I get that, and I still look the same. He pretty much looks the same. He hasn't gained really any weight, neither have I. So we pretty much look the same like we did 30 years ago.
But our feeling about you hasn't changed even now. So that's what his nostalgia of being with you was like, ooh, damn, I got her now. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's just, anybody that goes through a divorce needs to grieve. So.
Oh, would you give him a chance once he's complete his grieving and the divorce?
It depends on where I am at the time. It's going to take some time. So it just depends on where I am and where he is, So.
You just don't like him that much that way.
No, it's not that. But there were some other things that came to light, and I just feel like he was looking for a partner and he was looking for help. I said it.
So Michael, what about you? When is the time that you were half-stepping? And you were half-stepping?
Come
on, Michael.
My is a little bit opposite situation to the doctor, where
so Mike's getting the street.
I know what I was getting into, and just playing with fire, and and I knew that it wasn't going anywhere. I was playing my game, and she was playing her game, and I didn't really care what happened because I know eventually I just either stop calling or never take the call. After this is gonna sound cold. After I'm
That's gangster. Goodness.
yeah, it's done. The game is.
How much damage did you cause? A lot of damage.
Yes, I have. Natalie. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Brothers over sweating and everything.
Yeah. I think.
This is a learning moment, Michael.
Yeah. And there's certain. I had to make some calls and apologize. Say I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. I did cause some damage.
Why did you do that?
What?
Why did you do that?
Call, and because I
You got a
realized the person
conscience.
didn't deserve that. They really thought they could have been, we could have worked things out, or there was a future, and there wasn't.
Were you the guy that was dating Ronnie?
Oh.
You call it. You apologize. I'm like, Ronnie, you guys dating?
You didn't come with the flowers. Yeah,
I was just joking, but I'm just saying that I just look at life as like, unless you did something that was like totally life, transformational and bad for something.
No, it wasn't anything like that. It was more like
you hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
Like you started preaching and got the Holy Ghost.
Thinking that there would be marriage, and
You can say it.
there was marriage to that point, and no, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Because let me just say this. And we had this conversation earlier in the group chat, because you can't force one individual to see what you see. One person wants a life, they want a marriage, and you don't want that. Right? The other don't want that. And what we tend to do is that we think if we take this step here, or we compromise, which what this person was doing, then I will come to your side. I will say, okay, you know what?
Get what you want, yeah.
Yes.
The knight in shining armor.
I'm sorry?
You wanted to be the knight in shining armor?
No, not really. No.
Captain Save him?
What?
He caught you,
Captain Save him.
You saved him.
No, it was nothing like that. No.
Yeah, good.
I think you know what I like the fact that you called and apologized, Michael.
Yes, I think there's.
I think that's something that says
There's two
something.
individuals. Yes, there's two individuals that I did call. They basically one moved out of the state. Went across country. Actually, both of them did.
Because of you?
I think they wanted a change of scenery. It was just that. It was. You know what? I was in a place where I was going through whatever, and I wasn't ready to be.
Michael, basically you were wilding. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. All right. We're gonna sum that one up right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
like the long, clean version of it. Like,
Right. Just come with it. Just be
right?
honest.
wilding. And you
Cut
heard
to
it.
the
He's a
chase.
gentleman, okay? I'll give him that. Let's give him
I give you the
let's give him
fact.
some grace.
So it's wow, Tracy. She said it's interested in young women who are only interested in old dudes' credit, where we are all young women. We're definitely don't inspire to have intercourse. Okay.
Amen.
Well, damn.
All right. Well, damn, Tracy.
Amen, Tracy.
Well,
Kidding.
well. So thinking about this,
Tracy went in.
the conversations we were having last week in the after hours, and the girl saying that she got feedback from her mate, and she realized she was not necessarily good girlfriend material. Do you guys consider yourself good partner material at this point in your life now?
Yes, I.
Renee, you just did a. What's that, Renee? That body language is like, what's that?
I'm telling you, I literally had an argument from yesterday all the way till today about that. And so after having this argument, I realized it's situational, right? So for the person that I was having this conversation with, no, I don't think I'm good girlfriend material for him based on what his needs are. He told me, how dare I say that, because I'm basing what I think he wants on a friendship and not on what he wants in a relationship. So it caused like a whole big argument. But for someone else who our needs are the same, our wants are the same, then I could be good girlfriend material for them. So for him personally, I just didn't feel like I was.
Ronnie, is he your friend, or is he someone that you're having
a relation with?
A more intimate relationship with?
No, it's someone I did like 10 years ago, and he's been lingering around. You guys know the one you were like, oh, go to counseling with. So
I remember which one, Ronnie.
Wow. Well,
sounds like emergency penis in a glass.
Well, it's not, because I haven't used it in like 10 years. So, but he still hangs around. So I just looked at what he's been asking of me over the last couple of months, and I didn't rise to the occasion, obviously, because I didn't want to rise to the occasion, and partly because I don't trust his intentions, and partly because we're not in a relationship. So for him, I don't feel like I'm for him in the way I believe he wants a relationship. So again, going back to the original question, it's situation.
Just to get back to the question, do you think just standing alone outside of that specific relationship with your friend, are you good girlfriend material?
I've been told I am.
What do you think?
I think I am. I think I am.
What makes you a good girlfriend, Ronette?
Well, I'm easy to get along with. I am not the typical woman that most guys date. I've been told that 1,000 times. I'm fun, right? I'm interesting.
What's a typical woman?
I think I'm easy on that.
What is that typical woman? You're not the typical.
Well, you got to ask them, because the things that I'm into.
You never asked what that means?
So the conversations that I'm open to having, the kind of conversations, the things that I like to talk about, the things that I like to do. I'm cute, but I don't ride on cuteness, right? I don't think I do. I don't ride on cuteness. Like, I will sit on the floor, or I will get bougie if I want to, right? What people might expect of me when they see me, then they realize, like, wait a minute, she is nothing like what I thought she was. Sometimes people think I'm very stuck up, and then after dealing, they're like, oh my gosh, she's like the most down-to-earth person. So this is the feedback I'm getting back from the guys. Like, and you guys know, I roller skate, I run, I take pole dancing. When you see me, you don't see that, right? You people are like, oh, she looks very serious, and I don't talk that much unless I need to talk.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Wait, Sunshine went like this.
Is talking a lot a bad thing?
No. Listen, I can be loquacious when I need to be, but I'm like, I don't have to be heard every place that I go. But when you're with me, you realize I do talk a lot. I can talk a lot, but I guess it's just these things. I've been told this time and time again since I was young. Like, I'm just not, whatever the guys feel is typical, I've never been typical. So me standing alone, like you said, do I think I'm girlfriend material? I'm relationship material? Yes, I think I am.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Reggie, are you boyfriend material now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How, Reggie? Just based on what you said, I'd be like,
based off of my list.
But when do you implement those things? When's the last time you've been a boyfriend? Like a serious boyfriend.
Oh man, COVID prior to COVID. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So, you know, everybody was kind of like out of shape with dating, you know what I mean? As far as like, you know, their skills weren't tight because we weren't really in face to face. So I've been getting better and better, you know, about, you know, how the process is. But yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm ready now. I just haven't found anybody who take me out the market.
Why would they want to take you off the market? What is it about you, Reggie?
Do you want to know actually what's really funny? On top of Saturday, I had another outing on Sunday. So met this young lady, and you know, I go on these like, you know, just outings just to be out, not paying
you go
for
on
anything.
Insta dates, don't you? Insta dates. That's what they call them. Insta dates.
Yeah, but I don't get into the whole pain and all of that stuff. We meet somewhere that's kind of mutually fun to be at, and if it escalates into something else, like maybe going and having a drink or, you know, whatever, that's cool. But the initial part is, okay, let's meet somewhere that's kind of mutual and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So I met a sister, and she was, you know, kind of like, okay, let's meet. And I was like, all right, cool. So she actually came by my job, you know, which was okay. You know, she met me in the parking lot, and we talked, oh yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. And she got out of the car. I want you to see how I look. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, okay, that's interesting, but hey, no problem. So a couple of hours later, I get this text message. And I saved the text message, and she basically said that she didn't feel like it would be a good match. And I was like, what are you basing it on? Was it like looks? Because we were only together for no longer than 3 minutes. You know, she wanted to stop by. And she was like, no, I just didn't feel it. So I keep hearing this word feel. It seems like that's the operative word that women like to use. It's such a subjective term. But I was saying to her, well, what about the objectivity of what I brought to the table? Because I was able to tell you in as little as, you know, 6 words what I was all about. And then everything else just built on top of that. You know, if you were looking for somebody with a career, yeah, I had that. If you're looking for someone who was quote unquote smart, yeah, I'm that. But, you know, what is this feel thing? And maybe that's a question that maybe you
probably wasn't
females in
feeling
the room
energy.
tonight can really kind of explain to me. Is like, why do I keep hearing this feel thing when it's like, let me say this, especially at our age, if we don't know what we want now, then you need to just tap out of the game.
Right.
You know, you start talking about feelings, you start talking about emotions. If you don't come to the table understanding what you want now at our age and our demographic, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
But Reggie, you're not dating women in our demographic. You're dating younger. So they're gonna go with what they're feeling.
So guess who their aunties are?
What was that? But you're not dating.
Who the aunties are that they listen to?
They don't listen to
you mofos are the aunties that they listen
to. Trying to blame
you don't think that they're going by experience
with
you,
auntie?
You know what, Reggie? She probably.
Which one? Because you all are at the top. Which one? Who's talking?
Go ahead.
Like, I'm gonna go with Ronnie. Ronnie, you go. Then
go ahead, Ronnie. Denise is talking. Go ahead, Denise.
No, I was saying some of these young girls, and I can say I've done that too.
Young
women, girls, whatever. It's the same shit. They don't get that. They don't feel that attraction right away. And some women look for that right away. Oh, I feel attracted to him. Because I know I've done that. If I don't feel no attraction to you, I'll give you a little bit more time. But maybe old girl didn't feel that with you in that couple of minutes. She didn't feel that attraction to you.
Which
is fine.
Yeah.
So that's part of her feeling, but maybe, you know.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that over time, that's what I keep hearing. And I actually have been keeping score with it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing
the Lakers. Are you for?
Yeah, I've been strategic about it. At least I'm being honest. I've been very strategic.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying.
Dr. Reggie, can I just say, if we are their aunties, we'll tell them to stay away from older men like you.
Yeah.
Mike.
I mean, you get what you pay for. Get what you pay for, player. You get what you played for.
Denise, what about you? Lord have mercy, Reggie, you are cracking me up tonight. Denise, you Reggie. Go ahead, Denise. What about you?
I think I'm a great girlfriend material.
Yes, you would be.
I'm very open. I'm just open. I'm real. I'll say stuff and think stuff people want to say, but they won't say it. Like one time we were on a call.
Give us an example of what you
Yeah, because one time we were on a call and I was like, you guys said, well, what y'all want to talk about? I said, hey, let's talk about threesomes. People don't want to talk about that, especially women. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that's what they really want to do, their experiences. I want to talk about it. So I'm just very open. I'm just a free bird. Not to say I'm doing all this stuff, but I want to talk about it. What's the big deal? So I think I'm great. I'm very patient with some people, but I'm fun. I'm outgoing. I'm not the type of female that's just gonna sweat a man over silly stuff. So I'm very realistic. But I will hold you to your word. If you don't keep your word, then we're pretty much done because I can't do it.
Denise, I'm gonna get you because just as long as they don't pull out a credit card too many times.
Yeah, that's true.
And I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard if they take you to dinner and they take 15 minutes to read the menu, they ain't got no money to.
Did I say that?
No, I know that. I'm just adding on to what you were saying.
I did read that.
I was like, why did you say that?
No, I know.
Michael, you're up next. What about you? Are you a good boyfriend now?
No,
After your debacle of being, are you Jordan looking for your Scottie Pippen, or are you?
Yes, I am. I honestly said my past experience have prepared me to be ready. When you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not. If you want to keep playing, you'll keep playing. But I think at this age, like the doctor said, if you don't know what you want, well, he's dating. Apparently, he knows what he wants, right? If you don't know what you want at this age, forget it. Don't waste anybody's time.
Yeah. And can I just add, you can be a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend, but you may not be the best one for the person that you want,
right?
Or the one that wants you.
Yeah.
You have whatever characteristics you have with you, and you're operating very well by yourself until you meet that other person and your energies connect. Then you got to figure out, okay, do we work well together?
I think I kind of want to go back to a point that Reggie he was talking about. And Reggie, thank you for bringing up that, you got feedback and, it didn't work out. But the thing is, it's just like, and even trying to understand that when somebody gives you feedback that you are really feeling, how do you receive that? What do you take from it? Do you start to wrong that person? Do you like what goes through your mind?
And I look at it like one of the words I said is courageous. Mm-hmm. You have to have courage enough to be able to accept constructive criticism that you're just not the one. You understand what I'm saying? I used the comment one time when I heard Michelle Obama, when she was speaking, she said, you can't expect perfect when you're not perfect.
Right.
So if someone tells you that you have some things that just not are compatible with what they're looking for, that's fine. You just move on. That's life. I'm only saying that we have to get out of this selfishness of thinking that everybody should want you, because that's just never going to be the case.
Right.
Once we get out of ourselves and become selfless about dating, especially because it's a cold game out here. This game is
it's a cold world.
It's a cold world, but this is a cold ass game that we playing out here when you dating, and it is unmerciful. You know what I'm saying?
What makes it cold now, y'all? Though, but I mean, I think let's go back to what has made it cold for you?
More options.
Especially now, but he's not dating. I'm curious, like what is the coldness that you've experienced dating somebody younger versus dating somebody your age? And I know
so let's chill with the young thing. Goddamn it, y'all ain't gonna keep on.
No, I said versus the older.
Y'all keep on breaking it up, shit. So what I'm saying is, it's a cold game because of the fact that they can just get it started again. Like you leave the restaurant. They right back on the media on the website, and they ready to move on to the next restaurant. They can line it up just like that. So Technology makes it an even playing field where you don't have to go out to a club next weekend to find somebody. You can get right back on your phone and get it cracking 15 minutes after the date, or even during the date. You can be like, I'm texting my mama, knows she's on the dating website because she just got a hit from somebody that she was looking at.
Dr. Reg, isn't that because you don't know what you want that you're going through this process?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you have to go through this, you know that this is the type of scenario or that these ladies play.
So
bother?
You have to be selfless. You can't have an ego. You have to be confident and understanding you're not the one. You got to be able to take constructive criticism or criticism, period, by somebody just saying, I'm not really interested. Okay, that's cool. Move on to the next one. Like I said, life is short. We just came out of a pandemic. It killed millions of people. You know what I'm saying? People better.
It's like 3-4 years ago. I think it's over. It's been over.
But it taught us a lesson that life is short.
What was the lesson?
Huh?
What was the lesson that the pandemic?
That we're at the point of our lives, if we're all in the same age demographic, that we're at the point of our life where life stops giving us things and starts taking things away. And so if you aren't willing to say, okay, you know what, let me just get out of myself. And if it didn't work out with somebody, get back up and get back in the game. I can't stand women who, I took 6 months off, or I date this guy and I need a couple of months off. No, get back in the game.
What?
Yeah, get back in the game.
So then I'm confused. You're saying that it's a cold game, but then you're advising to get back in the game.
It's a cold game when you don't understand it. When you understand, it's like, okay, that's how the game is played. Let me get back in here. I learned something. Let me get back in it.
And that's the problem. It's a game.
Feelings that they need to resolve before they.
I'm only using game. It's semantics. I'm only using game.
But no, it is a game. Dating is a freaking game. We can all write a book about dating.
One at a
That's
time.
the game that I played in my 30s, 40s.
They still play
at this age. Excuse me? No, I don't play that game anymore.
I didn't say you. I said people are still playing them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, it just can't. I don't understand how.
Yeah, we're getting into semantics now. We're using the word game. I was using game sort of as a word to really simplify the conversation. Is what I'm saying. I mean, we can plug other words into
So Reggie, you don't take time. Once you've had, like, let's say you've been in a relationship for a year or two and you have a major breakup, you don't take time to reflect. You just get right back in the game.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I mean, everybody's different. Everyone is different. I'm not saying everyone's like me, and thank God.
No, but I'm trying to understand, because there are people that are like you. No, you're right. Not everybody's like you, but there are people who do connect to what you're saying. So
let's go back to what I originally said. I said we've been in this game long enough to know if you're willing to go down that road with that person for that length of time. If you don't know now in our age demographic, then you're never going to know. Okay. But if you already know where it's going to go because you've been through kind of like those trials, you've been through those tests and things like that, then at this point, you pretty much know where the situation is going. It's going to lead to. It's going to lead to a relationship. It's going to be a fling. You know.
See, I think some people know what they know, but they don't know themselves. I think they have been doing the same thing for so long. It's habit, and it's just what they do.
It's just what they know.
It's what they know.
Wagging your finger.
I was one of those.
I'm not talking about you, Reggie. I'm just saying what I also see that. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. No, I was one of those individuals that just, hey, this is what I'm accustomed to. This is what I'll keep doing. This is what I feel comfortable doing until someone kicked my ass. A situation gave me a wake-up call. And I started to just set my ass somewhere and just like spend time with myself. And until I went to that right person came along. It wasn't easy because you want to go out there and you want to play the game. But that lesson just is a reminder as because there comes a point, all these relationships, you learn from them. You grow from them. I just find it hard today for me to say, listen, I want to go and play the game. Or I want to be out there searching to date someone. I can't. I'm in a relationship with someone, and And something the doctor said that is so true. You have to be courageous to hear criticism, take it, and learn from it, and move from it, move on from it. But to play the game at this age, I just find it extremely, extremely difficult and a waste of time. There's just so many things that we could be doing. I don't want to waste my time or waste somebody's time.
Michael, let me clear. Like, once again, I'm going back. We're getting.
I know.
Yeah, it's a semantic thing. I didn't mean that as to be, disparaging or anything like that. I was just using it as for the context of the conversation. But I look at the word dating, kind of like what's in the word dating, DAT. If you add an A, it's data. So that's what you're doing in dating, right? You're collecting data about this person to make a decision, correct?
No, that is true. I do agree.
So that's what I mean. Is like, as you're collecting the data, does it match up to what you have already laid out to say, this is what makes my relationship work, or who worked for me? That's what you have to do, is look at dating as collecting data on a person. Okay, they have this characteristic, they have this characteristic. Okay, those things match up to what works for me. They have courage, they have conviction, they're vulnerable, they have vision, they're sincere and they're simple.
Yeah. So we're gonna, before we go into our 20-second fire chats, because I realize there's so much on this topic. So I want to just, where you guys are now, I don't know who's got New York fire alarms, but it's all good. What type of person are you attracting now? What energy are you actually projecting? Denise, what energy are you attracting now when you meet someone?
I ain't got no comment because I can't even tell you.
Girl, what's the last thing approached you? Tell me. What was he like?
He was I don't know, he was just he was a nice guy, but he was a game player. So and I can pick him out quickly. So that wasn't going to go anywhere. So, yeah, I mean, I just, at this point, it's just like, can y'all just be honest about your shit? Why is it so hard to just be upfront about your situation? So, yeah.
Okay, if he was honest about the situation, what would that change?
Well, okay, so if you got a girlfriend, you should say you got a girlfriend. How about that?
All right, I have a girlfriend. I want to get with you.
Then I can say no. When you get out that situation with your girlfriend, let me know. Now, we can still be friends, but ain't nothing else popping off.
Right. Well, I really like you, though.
But don't just come in the game talking about you free and single. What did he say?
He's like, I really like you. Here's some flowers in a fruit basket.
And I would be like, that's wonderful. Let me know when you're done with your girlfriend.
Okay.
So, but I think the follow-up, let us know when you're going to break up.
You see, but when you say that, if it was Michael back in the day in the 30s, 40s, I would like, okay, you know what? You're right. Thank you. That's just the fact that it's a maybe. There's a chance. I would come back a month from now. I could be still dating, and all I have to say, guess what?
Hey, Michael, great point. Because we as men, we really kind of throw that out there to see how we can come back and revisit that situation. Like, okay, let me give it about 3 months. Even though I'm still have my girlfriend, I know I can go back to her and say, hey, I'm not with her anymore. It's been 3 months.
And you can say that, but the detective over here will find out the truth. So
see, that's the detective. No, you wouldn't.
No, I should have been an FBI detective.
My name. Hold on. My
I should have been an FBI.
You know what's so
There's a reason why a man opens the door and starts a conversation to see what the response is. I'm giving some game out tonight. And then later on, he sees you maybe like a couple of weeks later, and he may open that door again and say, hey, you look nice today. Don't you remember me? I opened the door for you, a couple of months, and we had a conversation about, blah, 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 the perfume you had on. And
Lord have mercy.
You
Okay,
can do all that, but
I guess
it don't work over here with me. I got too much experience for the
is
game
that the
player.
game, Reggie?
So I'm good.
y'all ain't playing with y'all. Demise ain't playing with y'all.
Not playing.
The moral of the story is don't let guys open doors for you.
Oh,
They can
Lord.
open all the doors they want to, but just be honest about your shit.
Ryan,
So
Again, that's what I mean. Okay, if
unfortunately,
I'm honest about it, what does that do?
you are honest. But I want Rondé and the gentleman. Y'all can answer. Go ahead, Rondé.
so unfortunately, I've been attracting A-type personality men.
Why is that unfortunate? But go ahead.
It's because it's too aggressive, and men who have other people in the cut. And I've been wondering, I'm like, why am I attracting these type of people? So Saturday, I went to an event, and weirdly enough, I had been at a wedding in 2016, my cousin's wedding, and I photobombed this picture. I don't remember. I do remember the guy, but I don't remember photobombing the picture. He had the picture in his phone. So I'm like, I can't believe you have this picture in your phone. He's like, this was you. So he and I started to have conversation. And then for 2 days, we talked a little bit over the phone. And then that second day, he asked me like those probing questions, where's your man or your husband, whatever. I'm like, well, if I had a husband, I wouldn't be on the phone with you. He goes, well, I have a wife. I was stunned. And then I was stunned. So then he says, there are two types of men, a man who runs his household and a man who runs through his household. I run my household. So no one questions me. But saying that to say, this is the type of men that have been coming my way. So of course I haven't talked to him since, but I don't know why. I don't look at your finger and see a ring and then start talking to you. He didn't have a ring though, but I don't do that. Like, but you're coming to me and I'm like, do I look like I want to rock out with somebody who has another person? So
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
So
they'll try you.
Can I just throw a bone out there for a second for the ladies especially? It sounds like when we're meeting a guy or when we meet a guy, our first interest in is, are they dating someone else? Are they married? Are we not meeting people and just having casual conversations without an agenda for the future with them?
Oh, I definitely do that. I will meet without having an agenda at that moment, but still, I don't expect you to hit me in the head with that. But I'm definitely all about like just meeting you, having a good conversation. But like Demise said, sometimes you kind of want to know that stuff you want to know up front before we even continue any more conversation. Because why are you trying to bait me in with this great conversation to turn around and hit me in the head with you're married? Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
When was the last time any one of the women on the panel approached a guy or man?
I don't do that.
I do that.
I just talk to people naturally. It's just a natural thing for me. I have no agenda. I'm not trying to date them, and we can have a good conversation and say goodbye.
Why not?
I said we can.
But why not, like, express your interest? Like, hey,
I don't do that.
I'm not interested in them like that. I just wanted to talk.
I don't do that. I feel like if you're interested in me, then okay, I'm just not that girl to come up to a guy. That's just not my style. I'm not comfortable with it.
Where do you live at now?
I'm in Houston, but I'm from LA.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Gentlemen.
Maybe it's a New York girl thing. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I think, I don't either. Gentlemen, what about you? What type of women are you attracting now? Michael.
I don't even know. I'm in a relationship right now. So.
But there are women that are attracted to you, Michael. There are probably women who watching this are attracted to you. What type of women are attracted? I didn't say you were in a relationship. What type of women are coming up to you?
Well, certainly I have a type. It's amazing how your energy attracts that type. And you know, Natalie, what my type is.
The audience doesn't know.
What type? What's your type?
What's your type, Michael?
A sister, of course, my age,
Pew, pew, pew.
She got 2 eyes, 2 legs. What she got?
Shots
And
fired.
Michael, just go on and say it. We ain't gonna be offended.
Yeah, no, you know, as a Haitian man, there's a certain type of look a sister has that you're attracted to, and that's it.
The light skin, long
What
hair.
do you mean
Light
as a
skin,
Haitian
long
man?
hair.
'Cause
Come on
all
with
of
it
my
now.
college friends were Haitian, and the men love light-skinned women with long hair.
There
So
you
what
go.
do you
Boom.
mean?
Jesus Christ.
There you go.
Yes, thank you.
It's okay to say.
It's okay.
That's what you like. You like what you like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's their personality, Michael? What does their personality have to be besides being light skinned and long?
Independent, a little feistiness. I like to call it lioness. A little bit of challenge, but it has to be worth it.
Okay.
It has to be worth it. I'll put up with some stuff, just a little bit, because if you're worth it, it's worth the chase, the courting, the being charming. It's worth the fight, sort of.
Okay. All right. Somebody said not that colorism. Michael, you got this trigger. All right, come on, Reggie. What are you attracting now? What type of person is coming up to you?
I mean, women don't really do that, to be really honest. Yeah, they don't really come up to men like that. You know, I'm really just kind of paying attention to kind of like the kind of like the body language a lot of times, and women don't really do that. Like they just don't. Maybe I'm not in the places. I don't do clubs and I don't do, lounges. I'm really, really out like that. But the places that I go, I don't really see women who really come up to me. And that's why I asked the initial question, when was the last time you approached a man? And because that doesn't happen now. Most of the time, most of the women that I see, they have this like 1,000-yard stare where they just kind of like.
Well, that's an attraction.
Ask me a question, woman. I'm giving you.
I'm just saying that's part of their attraction. Women give eyes. They may not come up to you, but they look.
Okay.
But
Yes.
Reggie, can I just say,
Yeah.
sometimes people move or the clock or the needle off of energy. So I'm just trying to figure out like what sort of energy are you probably giving off that young lady probably just said, nah, I'm not feeling it, or that makes people be, really resistant to come up to you and just start a conversation. Maybe the energy that you're giving off is a little bit cold, and I'm not saying that you are, but maybe that could be it.
The
Okay.
intimidating stare.
The 1,000-yard stare.
The intimidating stare.
Yes.
You got it right now. Look at it.
That's my teacher stare.
Okay, but it's a stare.
But I guess it could be because I'm thinking about Reggie, and I'm like, if I'm behind him, right, and I'm attracted to him, but then I see him looking at the 30-year-old in front of me, I'm not coming to you. Right. That's why. Because I'm like, I see that's where his attention is. But also, when you say that women don't do that, I mean, Natalie and Sunshine, I think you've met like 2 of my guy friends. And those 2, Michael and what's the name who came to the beach? Lloyd, who came to the beach. Those guys, women are approaching them all the time. Most of my guy friends, women are approaching all the time. So I'm wondering, maybe it's where you live too, because
no, what I said was I don't put myself in like kind of like places and spaces like that to be, kind of picked up.
But I don't know. I don't think you have to be. You can just be walking, like someone can see you at lunch all the time, and like I'm really gonna say something to that guy one day, or like we do things. We make sure we stand next to you in the coffee line. Like we make sure when we know you're going to lunch at that time, we're gonna be where we know you are, or we're gonna do things to get your attention.
Tracy said, Reggie, you need an older lady friend to help you navigate these young gal waters.
Ow.
Reggie, you may need us to kind of help you guide it though, honey.
But Reggie too, what if the wrong one approaches you, right? The one that you don't like to see physically? Because I know you have some standards when it comes to that. What do you do at that time?
Let me say something to you. Listen, like I said, I'm open. I do have a preference, but I am open. So, but like I said before, I don't really put myself in places and spaces, I guess, where I can be chosen. But the other question is, it's just kind of like getting back to what we were talking about. It's really, if you can't find somebody who just initially just really has what you're looking for, then I'm really just kind of quick. Maybe I just kind of give off that vibe. I don't know, but I will take notes and I will write down and work on what you ladies brought to the table for me tonight. So.
Lick your lips when you see them. They'll show.
Oh
They'll walk up to you.
my God! Great Montaigne. Please bring the
Bite your lip like this.
Montaigne. Please bring the comment back, like three reels back.
Like the Kissable commercial. Kissable.
Somebody said Dr. Reggie's going to wake up 65 with an 8-year-old.
Do what?
Somebody said Dr. Reggie's going to wake up like Ice-T, 65 with an 8-year-old.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
You know we love you, right, Reggie?
Girl, I ain't paying y'all no attention. Shit.
You should.
Yes.
So let's do these because we're coming to an end. And remember, support the adult prom. Montaigne will bring that up later. We have what do you think? So what do you think about partnership and ready? So the first question, you got 20 seconds, you guys, to answer this question. How much time do you have for a potential partner?
Like in percentage?
Whatever. How much time? A week, a day? Are you going to talk to them daily? So on and so forth. How much time do you have? How much time do you expect?
If I like you, I'm talking to you several times a day.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have different types of technology now. You can text, you can talk, you can video chat. So you can really kind of get to the core of it all now. Like I said, you have to have a strategy. So with that being said, 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days you're seeing your partner?
I like a daily check-in.
Yeah. Like I said, text messaging, video chat.
Yeah.
All of that good stuff. Yeah.
Maybe talk every day and see each other twice a week. Once during the week and on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a year ago, when y'all asked this question, I'm like, oh, I speak to you when I speak to you. Now I'm like, no, I like you. I'm going to talk to you several times a day. I'm starting to sound like someone else on this show.
Right now, you have grown. Look at you.
I have grown.
Look at my big little sister. I'm so proud of you.
I grew.
All right, Michael, I don't know where you went. Okay. What gives you pause when meeting someone? Now, what gives you pause when meeting someone? Demise, what gives you pause when meeting someone?
First initial, what you got on if you're looking crazy. Okay. That's my first initial. When I first see you. You ain't dressed like I like you dressed, then it's kind of, wait, hold up.
If you got angry energy,
okay. Reggie?
If it's going to take you hours to get dressed, like you got to put on eyelashes, you got to do eyebrows, you got to do weave, you got to do tons of makeup, you got to get like that. Ain't nobody got time for all of that.
When you're meeting someone, you're seeing all of this?
I know, right?
Now y'all know
that was the question.
Everything's accessorized now. It's very rare that you find a woman who doesn't have some type of accessory on. You all know that stuff.
But when you're meeting someone, this is what you're seeing? The question was, when you meet someone, what gives you pause?
The work that it's going to take all of that stuff off.
Well, she shows up with lashes.
The work is going to take to get all that stuff off of my pillowcase.
All righty then.
And the Gucci bag stitching has to line up, right?
Those patterns that don't match up on those fake Louis Vuitton.
I can't with you, Michael. What gives you pause when first meeting someone?
20 seconds.
Come on, 20 seconds. Michael, it ain't that hard.
A lot. There's just a lot that I.
What's the first thing that comes to mind?
If it looks or just something that they say, but looks.
That's fair.
That's fair.
A weave with blonde hair.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
All right. What is the most important thing you need to take the next step in a relationship or in a partnership? Whether it be marriage or just commitment.
Commitment.
Yeah, commitment.
No, I'm saying what is the most important thing you need to take the next step with a person?
Oh,
To feel secure.
I guess consistency.
Consistency.
yeah, absolutely. Consistency
Okay.
and effort.
Reggie, Michael.
Uh,
Brothers.
20 seconds.
the effort, the consistency is important. Yeah.
You just pulled that one from us, but
I know I did. I was like, shit, I wasn't even really paying attention. I was like, what the hell? What? I was trying to read but
y'all ain't trying to be with no partner. Michael, what is it?
Listen, if you don't know when you're in a relationship where you're going with that person and you have to get to all these questions where what is it that makes me want to continue with this person? Do I need commitment? Then you shouldn't be with that. But that's not the person for you. I don't want to. I shouldn't. At this point, I don't want to ask these questions. It's either go or we don't. And I should know that the first 30 days in a relationship. Hey, listen, I want to build.
You meet their representative at the beginning. The first 60 days, you meet their representative. You need longer than that.
Well,
I think it depends. It depends on the questions you're asking.
Yeah.
The conversations you're having.
There's a lot of things you could do to end the BS right away. People will eventually expose themselves.
Okay. What's the most important thing you've learned from your breakups or breakup?
I'm not perfect.
You're not perfect. All right, Reggie.
I'm a flawed individual, and I will get better. Just give me time. Maybe the next time you see me, that thing you said I wasn't good at, someone you look at the person who I'm with and they'll say, he does that very well.
Okay. I didn't know you gotta claim it. Denise.
Just
Mike, I had to get you back, Mike. Your answer last time was better than mine, so I had to get you back, Michael.
Oh
Lord. Denise.
Just knowing that I do have flaws and I can improve the next time to make sure that I do better at it.
Okay.
Make a conscious effort to improve.
Okay. Rene.
That I can work on like real listening, like really understanding and listening.
Okay. Michael, what's the most important thing you've learned from your breakups?
There's points I didn't care if I broke up with that individual.
You didn't care?
No, I didn't. I really didn't, because it was past relationships. It was just all about me.
Okay, so that's okay. Anthea.
What I learned is that I was not communicating what I want very clearly.
Okay. All right. Okay. What is?
I know that was that cold of a.
No, it was honest. Thank you.
I'm cold. Oh my God.
What brings you peace at this point in your life when it comes to a partner? What peace? What brings you peace? I ain't thought about this shit, huh? Obviously. Go ahead,
being
Reggie,
solid, knowing that you're solid and I can trust you.
Knowing that you're solid and I can trust you. Okay, Rene. Reggie.
Rene, that just be honest, just be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And just be real, like I said, because that stuff is going to come out.
Absolutely.
You can't hide that. 30, like the sister said, Denise, 30, 60, 90 days, it's going to come out. You can't hide that. Who you are is going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anthea?
Well, one of the things that I had an issue with is not feeling secure when I was away from my partner. And I never want to feel in a situation where I have to question anyone, where you, whatever. I don't have time to do all of that stuff. So if
Yeah.
I am with someone and a partner and I have that sense of self, I am not thinking about where you are or who you even with. So I'm not even asking that question. I don't want to ask that question. And that gives me peace. I just want to talk about me and you when we're together.
Okay.
So if 60, 90, like whatever Demi said, it comes out, then it comes out. But I'm not wasting my time asking or investigating nobody.
Yeah.
Michael, what brings you peace?
Access.
Access.
Yes.
Okay.
Access to who you are, who she is, her femininity.
Mhm.
I, 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 I love. There's something so beautiful about a woman when she's feminine. It allows a man to be a man. It allows. It also teaches a man to not to hurt that individual.
And it allows you to be vulnerable too. You know, it's like the more feminine a woman is, it's like, man, I can be
Right.
vulnerable.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
She can get all. She can get this. She can get all of this.
Exactly. If I
Final question.
Hey, I grew up in the church. I mean, I grew up in the church in a different time when women were really women. You know, that's what I was
Women
brought
are
up with.
still really women, Reggie.
That's so mean.
So I'm just saying that, you know, I was taught to open doors. You know, hey boy, go over and open that door for that woman. You know, that kind of stuff. And oh, thank you, honey. You know, that's so sweet. And then the women were taught to respond to actions of what a man did. You know, so that's cool. I love it.
One more question.
One more.
This is the last question. What is the one thing that, I'm going to start with the men, that women are missing in how they show up?
Being their authentic self again.
Being there. Okay.
Remember I talked about on one of your shows, I said I don't like women who are just like extra happy. You know, like you can't be like that all the time.
They'd be like, Reggie,
like a valley girl, white girl happy.
oh my God, Reggie, what
That's
do you
silly
mean?
stuff, man. That stuff just becomes this energy.
Why-
Oh my
why
God,
is
are
that a
you
problem?
You know, I missed you all day. Wait. You can't do that all the time. Because I've seen women who try to do that, and when you punch a button or trigger them in a certain way to see it go in the opposite.
Yeah, but Dr. Regis, that's a 20-year-old. That's what I'm so happy.
I didn't say 20.
That's funny.
That's unfair, though. That's
yeah,
unfair.
the authentic person who comes in like, man, you know, okay, that's cool, you know. But that fake stuff, especially at our age, we know it, man. You know,
Yeah.
See it right down the street.
Thank you, Reggie. I like that. Michael.
What was the question again?
What is the one thing women are missing in how they show up as a partner, or even when meeting you?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I have to say, listen, I don't even know anymore. I've let go so much of my old ways and radars. I that's all gone. I don't even know anymore. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. All right. Women, what is one thing that men are missing in how they show up?
Keeping their word. Because for me, you're going to do something. If you're going to say you're going to do something, I'm going to hold you to your word. And when you break that,
say what you're going to do.
Yeah. Say what you mean what you're going to say.
Yeah, that's missing.
I can deal with that. Yeah, I can dig that. I can drink a cup of that.
Okay, you go on and drink it now. Drink it now.
Yeah, I can take a cup of that.
Right, Anthea.
And also, and just to piggyback on Demise, and Demise, I really agree with you with that one. Say what you mean what you say, but show up like a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Not a child.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, Anthea? How are they
show
showing
up like a grown-ass man?
How they're growing up as a child and not a grown-ass man. They need to understand what that means.
With all the games that people play and all that stuff, like, let me feel safe when you show up. Like I know there's a grown ass man at the door that I'm going to talk to, respect. There's some people that it's just an aura, I guess, an energy, I guess.
Things go bump in the night. He goes downstairs, not you, right?
What did you say?
Like you run there, like if things go bump in the night. He gets up and goes downstairs and say, "You get under the bed or get in the closet. I'm going downstairs to take care of this."
There's people that show up and they could take care of you if something happened.
There's something in the presence of a man. I don't care what people want to say these days. Women love masculinity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm okay with you calling the cop.
Like I said before, women love masculinity, women love testosterone.
I love a smart man.
Yeah.
Renee, what is something that you think, one thing you think men are missing in how they show up?
And the way they're showing up, to me, is being very honest about intent. Like not agreeing what intent really is, what your intent really is. Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
I'm meeting men who are acting as though they're being transparent about what they want, but the intent behind what they want is really not what it really is. And of course that shows up later down the line. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You explained it to me like I was one of my students I work with.
Okay, then I did good.
There's just one more thing I wanted to add, Natalie, before we close out. And I did write down some few notes before. The other thing is I would always like to learn something from the person that I'm with. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room all the time. Yep. I don't want to have all the answers for everything. I want to learn something from you. I want you to teach me something.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
There we have it. I think the thing about partnership is really understanding yourself so you can show up and be open and vulnerable to that person. Yes. And I think if you don't do the work, whether you are continuously dating and collecting data or you step away, I don't think there's no one wrong path. But in that path, you should be growing and learning. And at this age, I do believe what Reggie said, you should know what you want. And if you don't, you should be trying to figure that out, or at least know what you need.
There's just way too much information for us out here not to know. You have a cell phone, a computer on you, most powerful device on you at all times. No one should ever say they don't know.
Yeah.
That's a bad excuse these days.
I think it's also, but there's also a lot of information overload too. There's a lot of people giving advice who should not be giving advice. There's a lot of people who are not telling their story and pontificating a lot of things that they have no experience in talking about. That's true. That's the purpose of this show. It's about healing. It's about growing. This was a great conversation. Thank you guys much. Montaigne, bring it. What do we got going on? We got our first fundraiser, y'all. So definitely come to the Adult Prom. If you cannot make the boat ride, please contribute. The tickets are not expensive. Part of the proceeds goes to us, this show, growing it. We want to go live. We want to expand and really build upon. And that makes y'all a little bit of somewhat of like associate producers and contributors and patrons.
Yeah. How do you make a donation? How do you make a donation without having to go?
You could just buy a ticket.
Okay.
Just buy a ticket. I'll send. It's the link is in the thing. Come into the after party as we expand this conversation. Jasmine, a couple of questions that was in the actual comments is women really want to understand what is masculine energy now, and we'll talk more. So great show. Thank you, Dr. Reggie. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Denise. Welcome. Thank you, Michael. And of course, always my girl Sunshine. Let's close it out. And we will see y'all next week. The party is this week, so if you can come, definitely make it. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Come to the after party.
I'll be late
now.
I'll be late.